Yo, check it. All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is it. The calm before the storm is over, and tomorrow the storm begins. So prepare and get ready. Presidential election. We also have Fed interest rate decisions and AMC earnings. I'm talking about all that and more in this video. So without wasting any more time, let's hop into charts, facts, data. Let's go.
All right, guys, what is up? You are back for another video. So AMC, GME, SPY, let's hop right in. This video is not financial advice. So a lot of people would see today and say today was a day of disappointment for AMC, but I say this was a day of progress as we did fill that gap that I talked about and warned about in the weekly outlook and prediction at about 439 to 440. I told you guys there was a gap there and that gap needed to get filled. Now we came down and found support at 434. That's a key level of support and resistance. What's going to end up happening is because we have this falling wedge, which is bullish, is we're going to play this out throughout the rest of after hours and then into tomorrow morning in pre-market. What's probably going to happen is we'll use 434 as support, getting a bounce and moving to the upside, playing out the falling wedge, pushing to the upside back towards 442. We want to see AMC back above 442. If we can hold 442, 450 in earnings, that would be very, very bullish. I expected AMC to pull back. We kind of had this double top here. Also, we have a major amount of support and resistance. You can see all of these sell walls here. And we have this huge sloping support and resistance, which if we can break above this, it's going to be absolutely massive because you can see since we had that rally, we've had this overall sloping support and resistance. I'm hoping earnings can be the catalyst we need to break above it, but that's what's going to send us back towards that $6 range if we can break above this sloping support and resistance. Right now, we have this double top. You can see we came up, we hit these sell walls and are creating this double top, which could push us a little bit lower. We also have this overall uptrend, which we haven't tested. You can see it here on TradingView as well. We haven't tested. That would be coming down as low as like 430, 425, and we could still be relatively bullish. Pulling back before earnings isn't necessarily a bad thing as we could rally after earnings. Now, the only thing that I'm really worried about is how much of an attack are we going to face on earnings because we know AMC stock is manipulated. This stock has been heavily manipulated. Everybody who's in this stock knows that this stock is manipulated and they are slowly trying to accumulate shares. You can see 3.1 million shares here at time of recording at a cost to borrow sitting at 2.63%. So right now the cost to borrow is slightly elevated. We want to see it maintain this. This is why they're using short sparingly. And this is why we're not seeing it get out of control. 3.1 million is a decent amount, but they have been having to dump a lot more shares to do a lot more damage on AMC sense of the dilution. So we are seeing AMC put up more of a fight. We have this bullish falling wedge. I think we're going to see a recovery day tomorrow, in my personal opinion, as they try to accumulate more shares, not necessarily shorting. We are away from those sell orders as well. So I don't see any reason why AMC shouldn't be able to find support off of this key level of like 434, 432, and then continue to the upside. Again, we could come as low as like 425 and still be bullish. We're still in this overall macro accumulation. This will break out eventually. The question is, are earnings going to make us have to come down and accumulate longer, or break us down out of it, which would be absolutely devastating? Or are we going to see earnings be the catalyst we need to break us above this level and see us launch past that $5 and $6 level where things could absolutely get crazy for AMC? I think AMC is fundamentally improving. We're already seeing the bearish articles come out. Again, this is a time where they highly like to attack AMC, but I believe the earning numbers that we're going to see are going to be decent, and it's going to be a catalyst for AMC to move to the upside. And I believe that AMC is undervalued in the current price and fundamental state that AMC is in. They just lowered their debt. The box office is taking off. I think AMC is undervalued at this point. Now, of course, if we did have some type of crazy black swan event or something like that, market absolutely starts capitulating, which could happen here after the election, because you guys have to remember tomorrow is going to be an absolutely massive day, and this is an absolutely massive week. I think we could see something then as margin calls come in, as they're trying to plug all of the holes in the sinking ship. If we see the absolutely biggest storm we ever seen come in, the sink or the ship will sink and the market will crash. I believe the market's going to crash no matter who gets elected, in my personal opinion. I believe that this is a reckoning that's been coming. You see people like Warren Buffett absolutely just dumping stock. Warren Buffett has sold even more Apple stock. He's been a net seller. He hasn't bought back his own stock. He's sitting on a huge pile of cash. He knows what's coming. The writing's on the wall for the people that are paying attention. The only people that don't know what's coming are people that are not paying attention and not have been in the game as long as people like Warren Buffett or experienced traders and investors. So I think what we're going to see is an overall pullback on SPY, and that will affect the meme stocks. But as of right now, our main thing to look for AMC is how we're going to be handling earnings. And I still think we could see bullish momentum to the upside for earnings if we start holding that key level of like 442, 450 heading into earnings. Now, the fact that we're pulling back does not mean anything is wrong. We are actually letting RSI cool down. We're letting people be able to step in and buy the dip where we could see some momentum return back to the upside. And I actually think earnings is going to be what the catalyst we need to break us past 450 and hold that level. If you look at what's going on here on the daily time frame, we actually have a lot of crazy things happening. We are trying to fight to stay above the 200 moving average. You can see where we're using it as support, and now we got knocked down below it today. What I want to see is after earnings is us get back above the 200 moving average and use that level of support. Overall, when in doubt, zoom out though. AMC has not tested this overall trend line to the downside. Like I said, AMC could coat much lower and still be very, very bullish. I think we're still seeing this overall uptrend. We're also seeing this overall bottom formation off of $4 because we're breaking out of this sloping support and resistance here marked in yellow. Let me go ahead and take this off because it's kind of hard to see marked in yellow. And we're in this overall uptrend. We have not tested the trend line here marked in red. We still have room for upside in my personal opinion. So I think AMC is good. I think we're actually going to see a day of recovery tomorrow. We might see a little bit more downside, but I think based off this falling wedge on the micro time frame, we should see a little bit of recovery tomorrow. It might not be crazy. They're going to want to try to keep us low heading into earnings, but I think earnings could definitely be a catalyst. What we're going to see is earnings on November the 6th and after hours, and I will be covering those live, so tune in. Key levels for AMC to hold tomorrow are 434 and 432. If we can hold those levels, you're going to see a movement back up towards 442, and that's where we want to be, 442, 450. Now let's go ahead and move into GME. GME is actually setting up a decent move right here. GME breaking out of the macro accumulation. You can see that here on Webull and on TradingView. If you go ahead and look at TradingView, we're also breaking out of the macro accumulation and tracking along with this overall macro fractal as well. I believe that we're in the bull flag accumulation before a bigger move to the upside. And you can see that we're actually in this falling wedge accumulation right now. So I think that GameStop is setting up for a nasty move to the upside. And if we see a breakout of this falling wedge, you're going to see GameStop return back towards that 2310 level. And if we can break back above 2310, we're going to start heading back towards 2450. And that's where Gamma starts to get involved. If GameStop can get back towards $25 and $30, things could get interesting. So I'm interested to see here on GME, especially after earnings. Again, the algos kind of move together. So if AMC sees a pullback, you could definitely see some pullback with GME. But GME is also giving me some telling signs because GME is also setting up with this bullish falling wedge that could break out around the same time as AMC earnings. You can see we could actually see a little bit more downside tomorrow. Again, maybe with AMC, see a little bit more downside tomorrow and then start to recover late Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So in the later half of the week, start to recover back to the upside for the meme stock. So I think GME is bullish. You want to see GME hold the key level of 2180. And to fully confirm that it's going to break out of this falling wedge, you want to see it get above the levels of 2252. Now, the falling wedge sloping resistance is going to change, so you have to tune in for that. I will be live tracking all of this. As you guys know, if you're new to the channel, make sure you like and subscribe because I go live each and every day, and I drop videos like this as well, giving you guys predictions and updates on the meme stocks and stock market and things you need to know as a trader and investor. So this is what I'm looking at for GME. GME with a nice bullish setup, breaking out of this macro accumulation and following the overall fractal. I believe GME is actually setting up for a movement to the upside. If you go ahead and zoom in, again, I told you guys about this bull flag accumulation that we have to look out for GME. This is what I'm talking about right here. Right before the bigger moves to the upside, you see this like type of bull flag accumulation. I believe that's something similar to what we're seeing right now. Again, you have this big macro pattern, and I'll just zoom out for reference. So basically, we ran up. You have this overall falling wedge. I think that's what we're seeing right now is that overall falling wedge. You run up. You have the overall falling wedge. And then the pattern is repeating. We had another huge rally, 600%. We just recently had that like 6 months ago. Then we went back into another accumulation range. The fractal is playing out faster. Remember, I took all of this price action. All of this is just, it's all of that. So it's the price action repeating over and over and over again. And I think we're actually about to have another move with this falling wedge breakout. The falling wedge is the setup before the bigger move to the upside potentially. So we want to watch very, very closely. But if GME goes past $25, $30, it's going to start rocketing. You can see what happened last time. GME passed those levels. It absolutely took off. Same thing for AMC. Once it passed $6, it absolutely took off. So I think, believe it or not, and I don't want to get people too hyped, but the meme stocks are setting up for something potentially nasty here right around the time that SPY is dumping. And I told you this would happen. I told you guys this would happen on the macro. I said just trust the charts, the facts, the data. It's all part of the plan. It's all playing out. I told you guys SPY would start to top out after this bubble, which is what we're potentially seeing here, the top of the market forming. And I told you guys Bitcoin would start to pump. Bitcoin has started to pump and it started to break out of a bull flag. And I told you the meme stocks would start to wake up. Meme stocks have had a massive rally, consolidated in a massive accumulation range, and are potentially about to break out of that accumulation range. Again, you have this big move to the upside, you accumulate, and that gives you another move to the upside. Both of the meme stocks are showing this. Big move to the upside, you accumulate, you have another move to the upside. And GameStop has a gap fill all the way up at $71 to $72. By the way, AMC has multiple gap fills to the upside as well. When in doubt, zoom out. Multiple gap fills all the way up to $37 to $43. Green weekly MACD, green monthly MACD. There's multiple reasons to be bullish on the meme stocks, okay? And I've gone over why this accumulation range is so special and so similar to the same accumulation range we've seen before the big breakout, and that would correlate with GME having another move to the upside as well. So it's all coming together so crazy with the market possibly topping out. Everything's coming together, and if you follow this channel, if you watch the story unfold, if you haven't followed this channel, like and subscribe, because it's going to be one of the best things that you probably did, in my personal opinion. But hopefully I don't let you down. Like and subscribe and find out for yourself. So that's what I'm looking at for the meme stocks. Cost to borrow for GME is right now getting elevated, 0.41%. You see this move to the upside. It did go as high as 0.50%. You obviously want to see it much higher than that. And then right now, short interest sitting at 8.80% with 3.5 million shares available to short for GME. Now let's go ahead and move into SPY in the overall stock market. Remember, presidential election tomorrow. We'll find that out, who is the president, later in the day. But ISM services PMI numbers drop at 11 a.m. That's a 3-star data event. You want to watch for that. Now, on Thursday, we have the Fed interest rate and press conference, what I will be covering live. So make sure you guys tune in. And this week's going to be a busy week. I'm going to have to stream long for earnings on AMC and stream the Fed press conference. So tune in for that as well on Thursday. I think they're going to do at least a 25 to 50 basis point rate cut. Right now, the market has priced in a 25 basis point rate cut. I think they're going to at least do 25. I think they actually might do a 50. If they do a 50, the market would actually dump, in my personal opinion. But you would see small cap and mid cap stocks do well. AMC, GME, small caps like some of the ones you guys were talking about, Plug Power, other ones that you guys were looking at and bringing up to me in the live stream. Those smaller cap stocks are going to do very, very well inside of these types of low risk environments. And I think that's why some of these stocks are starting to run now, is because people are front running. And that's why you're seeing IWM also pump as well, because people are front running those rate cuts. I think that they're priced into the market. It's pretty evident that we're going to nothing's guaranteed in the market, but I think people are front running them. And that's why you're seeing moves in IWM and smaller and mid cap stocks. So rate cuts are going to be great for Bitcoin, cryptocurrency, altcoins, it's going to be a risk-on environment. Bitcoin could absolutely go crazy. Also, if there was a Trump victory, I think Bitcoin could go crazy as well because he's been pretty bullish about the overall crypto market itself. So that is something that could come into play as well. DJT stock could pump if he does win. Right now, it's breaking out of a bull flag, which is very, very interesting. And this is a potential setup for a much move higher. I already gave you guys price targets in the Discord, but if this thing goes past that $56 level again, $56.42, it could literally start to squeeze, as it had this massive move to the upside after this breakout of this falling wedge. It has now retested this overall trend line and is breaking out of a bull flag, so it's set up for another move to the upside, and I gave you guys price targets in the Discord. If you want to get in the Discord, hit me up on my email, DataZeroOfficial5. It's $75 for a lifetime invite. Once you send payment information, I'll send you the link, and once you hit me up on my email, I'll send you information about the Discord, and we could talk about it there. But this is what I'm looking at for SPY. I think SPY is going to be having a red week. SPY showing a ton of sign of weakness heading into these big major events. I think no matter who becomes president, the market is going to crash. I think it's a reckoning that is due to happen. I told you guys, technicals always tell me everything, and the news is just a narrative wrapped around it, and that's how I really see the market. You can see this bearish divergence on SPY, RSI trending down while price trending up. Also, volume trending down. The market's topping out. This rising wedge is a key sign of that. You could see the weakness over on NASDAQ with this overall double top forming. The market's topping out. It's really, really having trouble moving to the upside. That's why they're reverse splitting SQQQ, making it harder for the average person to hedge right before this major move to the downside. I believe that SPY is going to continue to move down. I think we're going to see a red week, and SPY is showing a lot of signs of weakness. It needs to break above the sloping support and resistance to get some type of bounce, which it might be starting to do. If it breaks above 571.14, it could get a bounce. It is trying to build bullish momentum. 2-hour time frame green. It's working its way up. It's trying to build bullish momentum, but it's having a hard time. I think if we break above the sloping support resistance and hold 571.14, you could see a movement to the upside, but it's going to be met with an overall downtrend. Again, weekly MACD is now flipped green. Daily MACD is green. I believe that the downtrend is beginning, and we're seeing the top of the market as NASDAQ also breaks down out of a rising wedge. And we're seeing people like Warren Buffett sell. We're seeing that selling across the board. We're seeing the major tech stocks hold everything up, start to crash. Here's my price prediction for NVIDIA. You can see how I said it was going to break out of this and then start to make basically a double top with a slightly higher high. That could be a double top very easily. Also, you can see Apple breaking down out of a rising wedge. So, and this is one of the key leaders of the stock movement as well, AI bubble. Disappointing earnings last week. So, yeah, I think this tech bubble is popping and the market seeing more and more signs. We have a lot more information to come out here in the next couple of months, and I think 2025 is going to be bearish in my personal opinion. So that's what I'm looking at for SPY in the overall market. Let's go ahead and go into BTC and then wrap up this video. So Bitcoin pulling back slightly, still bullish, green weekly MACD. I think it's consolidating before a potential move to the upside. It's a little bit fearful right now, but that is good to flush people out of the market. But right now, it's technically perfect. It's holding 67.2K, which is the level I want to see it stay above and hold. It's retesting the bull flag on the macro, and this is setting it up for that potential move that we are looking for towards that 80K level. So I think Bitcoin is good. If it were to flush out, that's a buying opportunity. Bitcoin's going to be very, very bullish in 2025. These rate cuts are going to be crazy for it. I'm not saying Trump is going to win, but if he did win, he's been bullish on crypto. I don't know Kamala's stance on crypto, so I don't know how a Kamala victory would in turn affect everything, but I think a Trump victory based off of what he said would be bullish for crypto, and definitely rate cuts are going to be bullish for crypto, Bitcoin and crypto. So I think Bitcoin is actually getting ready to set up for a move to the upside. Normally when the market pulls back, Bitcoin gets sold as liquidity, okay? Bitcoin is very, very liquid asset. People sell it for liquidity, and that's why you see a general pullback with the market. But I believe if you did see a crash, you would see Bitcoin dump down and then ramp back to the upside, similar to what you've seen way back when the sea flu happened. Bitcoin had a big dump to the downside and then ripped to the upside. So again, I think you would see a pullback with the general markets as it sells for liquidity, but as people start to come for a place of safety, I believe Bitcoin is going to mature and move more like a precious metal, and I think we're seeing that more and more and more. Also, institutions are in it now. We have the ETFs. Crypto is very, very bullish. I could go on and on and on why BTC is bullish. You guys know I'm bullish on crypto, but I try to explain with logic on why I am so bullish and show you guys with charts and fundamentals as well, instead of just telling you, yeah, it's just going to go up. Also, you can see that the rainbow chart shows that it's fundamentally undervalued. We've had the halving, but we haven't had the post-halving rally. You can see every time we have a halving, we have a massive rally. Halving here, massive rally. Halving here, massive rally. We haven't had that yet. BTC is undervalued. I think it's in a massive accumulation range, and I think it's actually about to make one of the nastiest movements to the upside, and 80K is going to be a very, very safe price target, and that's why I picked that. I think we're actually going much, much higher in my personal opinion, and when Bitcoin does do that, altcoins are going to go insane as we move into that euphoria segment. We haven't moved into that euphoria segment, and that is why Bitcoin hasn't absolutely exploded and had this altcoin season. When we had altcoin seasons, we were in that bubble euphoria territory. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. Also, just for SPY, pointing out that the market is in fear. So again, showing that there is fear in the market right now. If that goes to extreme fear, that possibly could be a buying opportunity. But I think based off of everything I'm looking at, again, you normally want to do the opposite of the herd. Extreme fear, you want to buy. Extreme greed, you want to sell. But I'm thinking we could see some negative returns on the S&P 500 for quite some time, and you even have major institutions warning of that. Ladies and gentlemen, this was your daily outlook and prediction. If you found it informative, please go ahead and drop a like and press subscribe for more content like this. I appreciate it if you watch the end of this video to get it in its entire context. And as always, y'all, have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace. And if you guys want to support the channel in a different way other than dropping a like and leaving a comment, you can check out the merch store. I am rocking some of the merch right now. Link down in the comment section below.
All right, y'all, that's the video. If you found it informative, go ahead and drop a like. Press subscribe for more content like this. Remember, you can check me out on Twitter and Discord for even more Day Zero updates. And I do post extra technical analysis on Twitter and exclusive buy and sell signals on Discord. So if you want to get involved in that, hit me up on my email, DayZeroOfficial5. If you want to support the channel just for free, just leave a like and comment, and simply watching to the end helps me out a ton. But if you want to support it in a different way, you can check out the live stream, drop a super chat, or you can check out the merch store. And I truly appreciate anybody who does that because it supports the channel so much. So as always, y'all, I couldn't be here without you. Have fun, stay safe, make money. Peace.